Welcome to Dreamy Tales, a place where gentle, relaxing stories will guide you into a deep sleep. On this channel, we'll be sharing soothing stories to help you unwind and forget the worries of the day. If you enjoy these peaceful moments, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you won't miss any of our bedtime tales. Let's create a space of relaxation together each night. Now, before we dive into tonight's story, let's take a few moments to relax your body and mind. Find a comfortable spot to sit or lie down. Gently close your eyes and take a deep breath. Inhale slowly, feeling the fresh air filling your lungs, and slowly exhale, letting the tension in your body gradually melt away. Repeat this 3 more times. With each breath, feel yourself becoming more relaxed and ready to enter the magical world of stories. Now, loosen your shoulders, gently massage your face, and release any remaining tension. Pay attention to any areas in your body that still feel tight, maybe in your neck, back, or legs, and gently let them relax. Next, we'll do a short guided visualization. Imagine yourself in a beautiful garden under the night sky, with the soft moonlight shining down. You can hear the rustling of leaves in the breeze, the sound of water flowing gently in the distance. Feel the cool breeze brushing against your face. Now that your body and mind are relaxed, let's step into tonight's story. But before we begin, remind yourself that you deserve these moments of relaxation, and let go of all worries as you listen to each word. And now, as you are fully relaxed, let's begin our journey into tonight's tale. Allow my words to guide you into a world of dreams and serenity. Relax and listen slowly. You find yourself traversing a gently worn path that meanders deep into the heart of an ancient English woodland. The trail is earthy and unassuming, with a slender strip of verdant grass bisecting the middle, hinting at its history as a route once frequented by horse-drawn carriages. As is often the case within the realm of dreams, the origins of your presence here remain shrouded in mystery, yet you are enveloped by a profound sense of awe and curiosity. A serene immersion into nature surrounds you, as if the towering trees themselves are extending a timeless embrace, welcoming you into their leafy sanctuary. Though unfamiliar, this place resonates with a sense of belonging, reminiscent of a home from a bygone era, or perhaps an existence from another life entirely. This enchanting wooded glen greets you with the warmth and familiarity of a long-lost friend, drawing you deeper into its magical confines. High above, nestled within the canopy, a chorus of birds fills the air with their melodious tunes, each note a sweet serenade that dances on the gentle afternoon breeze. The sun casts a golden hue over the landscape, signaling the warmth of the day and bathing the forest floor in a soft, inviting light. It's a day of perfect weather, bright and clear, with the essence of early summer permeating the air, fresh and fragrant with the scent of lush green leaves. Bees drift lazily from one wildflower to the next, their gentle hum adding to the symphony of the forest. You contemplate the idea of surrendering to the tranquility and curling up for a peaceful nap. Yet your innate curiosity compels you to explore further. Your eyes catch sight of a narrow, almost imperceptible trail branching off from the main road, leading into the shadowed depths of the woods. The allure of this winding path is irresistible, and without hesitation you decide to follow it. Guided by the lingering brightness of the road behind you, you slip into the emerald embrace of this fairy tale forest, eager to discover where your journey will lead. Step by step, you navigate the subtle path through the dense foliage. On either side, signs of the impending season abound, as if nature itself is caught in the delicate balance between the blossoming vibrancy of spring and the lush abundance of summer. It's as though you have arrived at the perfect moment when the forest is transitioning, offering a glimpse of both renewal and maturity. As the main road fades into the distance, a breathtaking expanse of late-blooming bluebells unfurls to your side. Majestic, ancient trees stand sentinel, their gnarled trunks rooted firmly in a carpet of deep purple flowers that blanket the forest floor. The delicate blooms bow their heads gracefully, shyly nodding in the gentle breeze. These flowers, soon to be replaced by the more robust flora of high summer, continue to grace the woodland with their fleeting beauty for just another day. The trail stretches onward, vanishing amidst moss-covered boulders that punctuate the landscape. Perched atop one of these stones, a gray squirrel clutches an acorn, eyeing you with a mix of curiosity and caution. You pause, holding your breath momentarily to avoid startling the inquisitive creature. It tilts its head thoughtfully, assessing your presence before deciding that you pose no threat. With a leisurely hop, the squirrel leaps onto the back of a large rock and scampers away into the safety of a nearby tree trunk, leaving you with a smile at its playful demeanor. The sound of rushing water reaches your ears, hinting at the presence of a river nearby. As you continue along the path, the sound of a waterfall grows louder, guiding your steps toward its source. The twists and turns of the trail sometimes divert you slightly away from the soothing cascade, but the sound inevitably draws you closer once more. Finally, you find yourself standing on the bank of a river, gazing upon the very scene you had been seeking. The water tumbles gracefully over a series of small ledges, its clear streams merging into a frothy foam below. The sight evokes a longing to plunge into its pristine coolness on a sweltering day, yet you know that now is not the time. Instead, your desire to explore the forest further takes precedence. Ahead, the path reveals a series of dry stones protruding from the water, forming a natural bridge that beckons you to cross. With a childlike sense of joy, you begin your journey over the river, stepping lightly from stone to stone, maintaining perfect balance with each hop. Soon, you reach the other side, a sense of accomplishment swelling within you for successfully navigating this natural obstacle course. Turning to admire the picturesque waterfall one last time, a vibrant kingfisher darts into view, perching elegantly on one of the rocks you had just crossed. The stunning bird gazes at you momentarily, its long beak opening and closing with graceful precision. In a flash of brilliant teal and fiery orange, it disappears into the foliage, leaving you captivated by its fleeting presence. Redirecting your attention to the path ahead, you venture deeper into the forest. A thick thicket of brambles lines the side of the trail, and your mouth waters at the thought of the plump blackberries that will soon adorn its branches. As you gaze upon the brambles, a hedgehog ambles nonchalantly across your path, vanishing into the protective embrace of the gorse bush on the opposite side. You lean over, a smile playing on your lips, hoping to catch another glimpse of the elusive creature. It remains hidden, but you pause to inhale the intoxicating coconut scent emanating from the vibrant yellow blossoms that flourish there. Rising from your reverie, you watch as two butterflies emerge from the bush, their delicate wings catching the sunlight as they flutter gracefully into the sky. Your momentary distraction from the hedgehog is interrupted by the enchanting strains of a flute drifting through the trees. Astonished, You hold your breath and turn toward the source of the music. The melody is accompanied by the harmonious notes of a string instrument and the subtle rhythm of a drum, creating a captivating symphony that draws you in. A surge of excitement propels you forward, guiding you down the path in the direction of the enchanting music. As the dense canopy begins to part, the trees give way to a sunlit clearing, and you are awestruck by the sight that unfolds before you. Before your eyes lies what appears to be a well-concealed village, hidden amidst the undergrowth with numerous small thatched huts and tents nestled under the protective canopy of ancient trees. In the center of this secluded settlement is an open area illuminated by the warm glow of a bonfire, its flames sending sparks dancing into the night sky. The clearing is alive with the vibrant energy of a festive gathering. A large group of villagers occupies the space, engaged in lively celebration. Couples dance and laugh, their movements full of joy and exuberance, almost breathless from their spirited rounds. Tables laden with cascades of nuts, platters of bread, and wheels of cheese are arranged on a substantial board supported by sturdy tree stumps, where revelers help themselves to the abundant fare. The tantalizing aroma of roasting meat wafts through the air, leading your gaze to a spit roasting over the fire, where succulent morsels turn slowly, absorbing the smoky flavors. Atop a nearby rock, a tall man with a flowing beard stands proudly, raising his earthenware mug to call for attention. His voice rings out, inviting everyone to raise their glasses in a toast to the bride and groom. As the crowd responds with enthusiastic cheers, a graceful maid in a stunning blue-lined gown steps forward from the group of dancers, executing a dramatic curtsy. She delicately adjusts a crown of daisies perched upon her head, ensuring it remains perfectly in place. The groom, one of the musicians, pauses his harp playing and rises from his seat, spreading his arms wide in a gesture of celebration. Another man, perhaps a friend or fellow reveler, exclaims, "Here's to Thomas and his lovely Eleanor." The crowd erupts in applause, and you find yourself clapping along quietly, caught up in the infectious joy of the moment. A kindly-looking woman in homespun attire approaches you, her hand extended in a warm gesture. "Come join us," she beckons with a smile. "Take a moment to enjoy some refreshment and share in our celebration." Overwhelmed by your good fortune, you gladly accept her invitation, following her to the fireside where she pours a steaming beverage into a mug and hands it to you. As you lift the drink to your lips, the musicians launch into a lively tune, their instruments harmonizing perfectly. The dancers resume their spirited movements, spinning and twirling as spring blossoms drift gently down around them, carpeting the forest floor with their delicate petals. Your reverie is interrupted by the sound of a man's voice behind you. "Good evening, stranger," he says with a friendly tone. You turn to see a robust, bearded man holding a pint of his own, dressed in simple, rustic clothing, his cap adorned with a feather. He smiles warmly and continues, "Do you have any coin? If so, we'd be grateful if you could share some to help the less fortunate. If not, you're still welcome to join our fire. There's plenty of food and drink to go around." With a smile, you reach into your pocket and turn it inside out, revealing it to be empty. The man grins broadly and pats you gently on the back. "Ah, then have a seat and join us at this merry wedding feast," he invites. Moving to a nearby log that serves as a bench, he takes a seat at one end and you settle yourself at the other. A portly man in a brown robe soon arrives, mug in hand. Your host introduces him as Tuck and reveals his own name is Robin. The man in the robe nods amiably, raising his mug in greeting before seating himself opposite you by the fire. Robin turns to you, gesturing toward his companion. "We just met this fine fellow today, without whom the wedding couldn't have taken place. Isn't that right, Tuck?" he asks. Tuck chuckles, slapping his knee in amusement. "Indeed, it has been a most eventful afternoon," Robin continues, the slanting beams of the setting sun casting a golden glow through the trees behind him. "I'd be happy to share the story if you have the time." You nod eagerly, sensing an opportunity to hear a captivating tale. With the flickering firelight and the gentle sounds of the celebration surrounding you, Robin begins his narrative. "My companions and I were out today, hoping to catch some wealthy noblemen traveling the road," Robin starts, a mischievous twinkle in his eye. "After all, they never mind parting with their coins to help the poor when asked kindly." He winks, and you can't help but laugh at his playful confidence. "As we journeyed along, we encountered a young man named Alan," he continues, pointing towards the harpist you recall as the groom. "He was utterly distraught, weeping by the roadside. We inquired about the source of his sorrow, and he confided that his true love was to be married that very day to a wealthy old knight, arranged by her father. There was no hope of stopping the wedding." Robin's expression turns comically shocked, eliciting another laugh from you. This seemed a grave injustice, so we pledged to intervene, interrupt the wedding and unite Alan with his beloved maiden instead. However, we faced a dilemma. We needed a priest to officiate the ceremony, as the corrupt bishop summoned by the rich knight wouldn't be agreeable. He pauses, drawing you further into the tale. "Where could we find such an officiant? One of my men suggested a good friar lived just across the river. It seemed a plausible solution, so we set out to locate this pious man and hasten to the church." As we approached the riverbank, voices and singing drew our attention. Creeping closer, who did I see but this disreputable fellow? Robin nods derisively at Tuck, who leans back, laughing and slapping his knee. He was eating a large slice of cold pie in one hand and a hefty mug of ale in the other, conversing in two different voices. It was quite the spectacle. You laugh quietly, picturing the scene. "I couldn't resist joining in the jest," Robin admits. As he was offering pie with his left hand and ale with his right, I playfully mimicked his mannerisms. This startled him, and he accused me of spying. Quickly, I revealed our true purpose and inquired about the friar's whereabouts. He responded rather rudely, telling me I'd have to find out for myself. Not one to be deterred, I asked if he could carry me across the river on his back so I could search without getting my clothes wet. After some contemplation, he agreed, seeing it as the Christian thing to do, and even offered to carry my sword. Robin pauses, taking a deep sip from his mug. He did carry me across and set me down on the dry bank. However, when I requested my sword, he refused, insisting that I carry him back to retrieve it. Reluctantly, I agreed, but midway across, fatigue set in and I decided to drop him. Both men laugh uproariously at this point. Naturally, he took offense, and our quarterstaffs were drawn for a fight, Robin explains. A fierce battle ensued. I was surprised by Tuck's skill and agility. In the end, we were both soaked and exhausted, agreeing it was a draw. Thus, we became friends. Robin points at Tuck with his elbow and adds, Tuck here admitted he was the friar we were seeking. Upon hearing our mission, he agreed to accompany us and marry young Alan and his beloved. The two men grin and take another sip from their mugs as you watch the bonfire's flames dance higher, casting a warm glow over the clearing. The approach of twilight only seems to heighten the festivity, with more platters of food appearing and the music intensifying in tempo. Nodding in silent satisfaction, Robin and Tuck turn their attention back to you, inviting you to hear about what transpired at the church. You do want to hear the next part, Robin says, his eyes twinkling. We hurried to the village church just in time for young Margaret's wedding to the wealthy knight. Alan doubted we could stop it, believing there was nothing we could do to sway her father. But I assured him that Robin Hood never loses his battles and that we would find a way. The pews were packed with guests, all there to witness the union. The bridegroom was an elderly, pompous man, and although Margaret's father was a simple tradesman, it was clear why he sought a wealthy match for his daughter. Margaret was one of the most beautiful maidens I had ever seen. Robin pauses, sharing a knowing smile with Tuck as he glances at a dancing woman in a blue dress. We burst through the church doors, causing quite the commotion, proclaiming that the wedding must be stopped because Margaret's true love, Alan, was present. Her father was livid, demanding we leave immediately. Swords were drawn, and a heated exchange ensued. Robin stands dramatically, spreading his arms wide. Just then, the old knight intervened, declaring he had no desire to marry someone who did not love him, deeming it beneath him to force Margaret into this marriage. Furious, the Sheriff of Nottingham, witnessing the scene, tried to maintain order, but was utterly confounded by our boldness. Both men laugh, clinking their mugs together. At this point, I offered her father a choice. Let Margaret marry Alan with our blessing and accept a bag of gold coins as compensation, or refuse our help and deny Alan his chance at happiness. He couldn't accept both, and the friar's intervention tipped the scales in our favor. The friar, whose real name is Friar Tuck, declared his support for our cause, allowing us to officiate the marriage. Alan and Margaret were united in holy matrimony, and the crowd erupted in cheers. And here we are, celebrating their joyous union. Robin and Tuck share a hearty laugh, their camaraderie evident. But let me tell you about how we outsmarted the sheriff at his own archery competition, Robin whispers conspiratorially, catching your attention. Friar Tuck leans in, intrigued by the prospect of another thrilling tale. Word of our exploits has spread far and wide, Robin begins. We are humble men who revere King Richard, always in his service. While the king battles abroad, the nobles have neglected their duties, oppressing the people instead. When we encounter these wealthy individuals on the road, we treat them fairly, inviting them to our fireside feast before politely requesting 2/3 of their wealth. It's only fair that we redistribute their riches to the villagers in need. You nod in agreement, understanding the righteousness of their cause. Robin continues. The Sheriff of Nottingham, growing tired of our highway activities and the people's support for us, devised a cunning trap. A grand archery competition with a hefty prize, knowing Robin Hood was rumored to be the finest archer in the land. He chuckles, recalling the event. We disguised ourselves as religious men, beggars, and other inconspicuous figures to blend in. On the day of the contest, the town was abuzz with excitement. Lords and ladies filled the stands enjoying the festivities, while common folk mingled among striped tents and colorful pennants fluttering in the breeze. As we took our places, the sheriff watched closely, determined to unmask us. Most contestants were well known, leaving only 2 unknown archers in the competition. One was too short to be Robin Hood, and the other, a man in tatters with a brown beard and an eye patch, didn't match the legendary archer's appearance. Robin smiles slyly. Despite the disguises, I maintained my composure. When it was my turn, I drew my bow and released the arrow with precision, hitting the very center of the target and even clipping a feather from another arrow. The crowd gasped in amazement, unaware of my true identity. The sheriff, in his frustration, offered me a place in his guard, praising my unparalleled archery skills. I declined firmly, stating that no man in merry England would ever serve under him. Enraged, the sheriff ordered me to leave, and I retreated swiftly with my men, celebrating our victory around the fire in Sherwood Forest. Robin takes a moment to let the story sink in, then adds, "Shortly after, my friend Little John informed me that the sheriff had been spreading lies, claiming Robin Hood was too cowardly to compete. Determined to clear my name, Little John orchestrated a plan. While the sheriff dined with his guests, a blunted arrow flew through his window attached to a scroll. Upon reading it, the sheriff discovered a verse declaring the award was rightfully given to merry Robin Hood. This public declaration exposed his deceit, and the sheriff was left speechless, unable to refute the truth. Both men laugh heartily at the memory, their bond strengthened by shared adventures. And so, the legend of Robin Hood continues to grow, inspiring us all to stand against injustice and fight for what is right." Robin concludes, raising his mug in a toast. As you sip your drink, you take in the vibrant scene around you. Several women, embodying maternal warmth, converse animatedly near the fire, their laughter mingling with the music. A small boy tugs at one woman's skirt, seeking permission to join in the festivities. She smiles indulgently, granting his request as he darts toward the platters to grab a treat. The children's giggles echo softly as they disappear into the shadows, their joy infectious. Turning your attention elsewhere, you observe two men engaged in an archery contest, arrows flying toward distant targets with practiced precision. The onlookers cheer, clearly invested in the friendly wager. Robin notices your interest and leans in, whispering conspiratorially, "Have you heard about how we outwitted the sheriff at his own archery competition?" Friar Tuck, intrigued by the prospect of another tale, listens intently as Robin continues. The sheriff, obsessed with capturing us, set up this grand contest, believing it would be the perfect trap to draw me out. But we had our own plans. Dressed in humble garb, I participated with confidence, knowing my skills would speak for themselves. When I struck the target flawlessly, even clipping a feather from another arrow, the crowd was mesmerized, and the sheriff was left scrambling to maintain control. Robin's eyes gleam with pride as he recounts the moment. When the sheriff offered me a position in his guard, I knew I had to stand my ground. Declining his offer was a statement of defiance, a declaration that no amount of wealth or power could sway me from my path. His futile attempts to undermine me only solidified my resolve and the legend of Robin Hood. The story concludes with Robin and Tuck sharing a knowing smile, their camaraderie evident. And that, my friend, is how we turned the tables on the sheriff and continued our mission to protect the innocent and uphold justice in Sherwood Forest. As the evening progresses, the bonfire's flames flicker higher, casting dancing shadows around the clearing. The music shifts to a gentle ballad, and the stars begin to twinkle in the night sky, their light reflected in the serene waters of the nearby river. The festive atmosphere softens, transitioning from lively celebration to a more romantic and contemplative ambiance. Noticing that Tuck has wandered off, you rise from your seat, feeling a sense of contentment wash over you. The scene before you is nothing short of magical. a hidden glen alive with the spirit of camaraderie and joy. The children, who had previously darted through the festivities, have been quietly tucked into their beds, dreaming sweetly beneath thatched cottage roofs and cozy tents. Meanwhile, the men and women of Robin's merry company continue to dance, their movements graceful and fluid under the glow of fireflies that drift like floating sparks among them. Alan, the young musician, has relinquished his duties and now sways happily in the shadows of the firelight with his beloved Eleanor. They share smiles that speak of a love reaffirmed, their eyes reflecting the warmth of the bonfire. The remaining musicians keep the mood alive, their instruments adding layers of melody to the tranquil evening. The drummer gently beats time on his drum, while the flutist's soft piping creates a soothing harmony that blends seamlessly with the natural sounds of the forest. Just as you find yourself drawn into the enchanting lullaby of the woods, you feel a light tap on your shoulder. Turning around, you see one of the kind-hearted women from the fireside standing behind you, a warm smile gracing her face. "It's no good venturing into the woods alone at night," she says kindly. "Would you like to borrow a bed for the night?" Grateful for her generosity, you accept her offer without hesitation. As the other revelers begin to retire, seeking rest after a day of joyous celebration, you follow your hostess around the edge of the glen and down a moonlit path that winds deeper into the trees. She leads you to a charming little treehouse, nestled snugly within the sturdy branches of an ancient oak. The structure is simple yet inviting, a perfect nook, elevated above the ground to provide both security and shelter, while remaining completely concealed by the surrounding foliage. "There's a cozy bed up here," she explains, pointing to the makeshift platform. "Let me know if you need anything else." With a friendly pat on your shoulder, she departs into the shadows, leaving you to settle into your temporary sanctuary. Climbing the 5 or 6 rungs of the makeshift stairs, you find yourself on the clever platform. As promised, a fresh pallet awaits, stuffed with sweet-smelling straw and topped with soft brown blankets. You lie down on your back, gazing upward. The branches of the towering trees encircle you, framing a private window to the night sky. Countless stars twinkle brilliantly, each one a tiny pinprick of light embedded in an infinite expanse of midnight blue. It feels as though they are guardians watching over you, their presence both comforting and awe-inspiring. Your mind drifts as you ponder the vastness of the surrounding woods, the gentle hoot of an owl echoing softly from somewhere nearby. The melody of the flute continues to whisper through the trees, blending with the serene sounds of nocturnal life. The dancers' movements have slowed to a sedate rhythm, their energy now a quiet harmony with the tranquil evening. The heavens above, a tapestry of stars, witness the perfect conclusion to your fairy tale journey. In the comforting embrace of Sherwood Forest, you drift into a peaceful slumber, the magic of the day lingering in your dreams. You are enveloped by the sheltering arms of the ancient woods, and as you close your eyes, you know you are at the perfect end of a fairy tale.